Aloha and welcome. We are H Consulting LLC. My name is Forrest.
My name is Pukana.
And I'm Katie.
And we had the wonderful business people so far. We interviewed a manager with the company KMR and also Kaimi, a owner of a local barbershop.
Awesome. So the first business that we were able to interview was Kealakekua Mountain Reserve, which is an almost 10,000 acre multi-resource landscape / ranch that's in South Kona on the Big Island of Hawaii. And this piece of land is used for many different purposes, but some of them include growing trees that the oil and for other and educational purposes for the local schools of trees and the earth, and also for just educational purposes for other businesses and companies about sustainability.
The next business that we interviewed was the High Fade Barbershop. It was founded in 2019 and it's owned by local BYU Hawaii student Kaimi Horito. He first had the idea for this company when he was a student over at Kahuku, and he noticed that there wasn't any barbershops in the area going from Kaneohe to Haleiwa. So once he came back to school here, he had the vision to open up Kaimi Cuts, and it initially started as like this little shack in Haula, but he had the opportunity to expand to his location, and he is now located in the Laie Shopping Center. In 2021, he changed the name of his company from Kaimi Cuts to the High Fade Barbershop, and it's one of the only businesses this side of the island to offer customers the full barbershop experience.
Okay, so for our KMR interview, I took the role of CEO and asking about some of the best practices that they had. And one of the things that stood out was that a CEO has the role of implementing a culture that will lead to an ethical and thriving company. And so some of the best ethics that are central to KMR that were discussed include commitment, like commitment to the company's goals, and always having personal employee objectives and goals should be secondary to the goals of the company. Having a can-do attitude with everyone on the team and not having one person work more than another person, but everyone work in harmony. The importance of having integrity and honesty in all of the workplace actions, and having the humility to not fake it till you make it, but to get help and get the answers that you need if you don't know how to do something. And also the relentless pursuit of goals and the objectives of the company.
So for the High Fade Barbershop, on our interview, I had the role of CEO. While interviewing Kaimi, the owner of High Fade Barbershop, we asked what he thought was the most important value he was looking for when hiring. He responded saying, hard work, definitely. Implying that he likes hard work over talent. And he's always looking for motivated employees. Kimi, when asked what attribute was most important to him for running his business, and he said goal setting. And not only goal setting, but the ability to work towards your goals and take the steps to make your goals turn into a reality. So that's what I got from CEO best practices.
So when we interviewed KMR, I had the responsibility of asking like a question about managing people, or what like a CPO, what their position would do. And I learned some pretty cool lessons. from the interview. The first thing that that Greg, our interviewee, talked about was the importance of tailoring resources to your employees. And so, as like a general manager, he has a lot of people that he works with, and he told us a story about one of his employees who he brought on because they had a lot of experience. And this employee, he gave all the resources that he would need. However, the employee was like struggling with doing the tasks that were asked of him. And so um, in the interview, he went on to explain how, along with tailoring your resources or giving your employees all the resources that they will need to succeed, you need to always follow up with them to make sure that they're actually like keeping on track. He mentioned that it's like the most merciful thing that you can do is to follow up with your employees. And, you know, even though it might sound kind of negative, like you're hounding your employees, it's best because it allows them to be more accountable. And so, all in all, to, you know, that's the most important thing, is being accountable to, or helping your employees to understand the importance of accountability.
Okay, so for the High Fade Barbershop, I interviewed as the role of CFO and what some of the most important qualities are with that. And one thing that really stood out to me that Kaimi said was that one of the greatest challenges for him is finding a balance between providing a service of value that is, and balancing that with making enough money to stay up as a business and to pay employees well. And he just talked a lot about how he saw High Fade Barbershop as a way of giving back to his community and to the people here in Laie, and really providing something that was a service that was needed. And so he wanted to make the prices low enough that a lot of people could benefit from his service. And at the same time, he realized that he needed to be able to keep his business afloat and to avoid bankruptcy or to avoid running out of money and not being able to provide this service anymore. So he had to find a price point that was in the middle of that so that he could help as many people as possible, but at the same time, make enough money that he would be able to continue to grow and continue to help these people for a long time. And so he had to find that balance between giving back and also growing his company.
All right, so I think this one's mine too. I haven't really prepared anything, but I was going to talk about how I think I asked the question to Kaimi under the role of COO. I asked him what some of his challenges were in operating his business from the day to day. And Kaimi, he talked about how I think the biggest challenge that his company is having right now is just marketing, and is really just getting people in the door. He mentioned about how right now, due to the COVID pandemic, it's kind of changed a lot, you know, of the amount of customers he's been getting. And so I'm reading an article right now about the role of a COO and how it's changing during COVID. So I'll write some stuff in after.